Hey Hank, what if I told you I know where you can get more fuel than you've ever dreamed of?
Don't call me that again, dude. Like I told you, that man died in the Great Wave. But you have aroused my curiosity. So, where is this place? Information like that is well worth the batteries you need.
A few hours ago, I found a way to get into the medical center you told me about in the outskirts of the city. It's much bigger than it looks like from the outside, and it uses enormous generators to power its electrical system. They're storing hundreds of barrels of fuel in a huge depot, which is hidden behind a fence that goes all the way around the compound. It's invisible from the outside.
Yeah, and I suppose you've brought those hundreds of barrels to the camp to bargain with me.
No, but I do have the key that will let you and your men get them out of there without raising suspicion. It's a vehicle pass for entering the compound, stamped by the Army.
That's a very interesting story, dude. I'll have to do some checking, but it sounds promising. Now, if what you're saying is true, you're going to make one weary old bear very happy. But if you're lying, I'll find you wherever you try to hide, and I'll maul you with my paws right on the spot.
So you'll give me the batteries in exchange for the ID?
Deal. The ID is now mine. Here are the batteries you asked for. Hey Mike, wait! Before you go. I've been thinking about it, and now it's my turn to propose a deal to you.
A deal?
Yeah, listen. Me and my boys don't like leaving the camp any more than we have to. We're a bit too well known and sought after by the pigs out there, if you get my drift.
I see.
All that talk about the medical center, the fuel and the ID got me curious. I need to get the lay of the land, to check out some things and work out a plan. But I can't expose myself. It would look very suspicious if I were to be seen poking around out there.
Of course. And what do you need from me?
Bring us enough information about that depot for us to make a plan. I'm talking diagrams, coordinates, maps, or better yet, a photo. Bring back what I'm asking for, and I'll give you whatever you want in return. What is it you need, dude?
Do you know the trailer where Rod Atkinson and his wife live?
Yes, of course. I know Rod, that hypocritical busybody. He still thinks that with his old world morality, he can save everyone in the camp. He's a real pain in the ass, dude.
They have a young son, Colin. I can't tell you why, but I need to be alone with the kid, just for a few minutes. You have to make a commotion outside to keep Rod and his wife distracted long enough. Keep them busy for a few minutes. Find any excuse, but I need time alone with that boy.
You never cease to amaze me, Mike. I don't know what you've got in mind, but it's none of my business. Bring me the information I asked you for. Bring me that photo of the fuel depot of the hospital, and I promise you'll have all the time you need to do whatever it is you want to do with that boy. And my complete discretion, of course.
I don't know what idea is percolating in the hunter's sick mind right now, but I have to play along to avoid having to explain anything. I gotta make sure he doesn't find out about the boy's illness. Deal. But nobody gets hurt, okay?
Bring me that photograph of the fuel depot at the hospital, and we'll do whatever's strictly necessary.
Okay, let's see if this device still works. Huh, it works, but what do we have here? It's a list with hundreds of names, places and addresses, and a map of the city. It's the device the cleanup brigades use to navigate during their raids. Sort of an electronic map. It looks like some satellites are actually still working after the Great Wave. I just have to enter an address, and this screen will show me where it is. Okay, let's enter the address shown on the card from Beechwood Oracle, 24 Mametz Wood Street. The map shows me a place near downtown. Let's go have a look. A billiard ball. armed to the teeth. That uniform looks a little big on him. It gives that psychopath a comical appearance. I'm afraid the brightest thing about this guy is the flashlight hanging from his belt. This pig is watching the street with all the tranquility and indifference his impunity gives him. The more I learn about this new world, the more I'm convinced those bastards don't have human blood running through their veins. But what terrifies me even more is that they do, and in abundance. No matter what you might think of the state of the city, these trash cans are practically empty. I guess generating garbage is a real luxury nowadays. In the old world, this building would have already been condemned and demolished as a ruin. But in the new world, it's got to be one of the best preserved I've seen in the city. More of the shattered glass that constitutes the window dressing of most of the city's stores. Despite the thickness of the glass, the Great Wave must have crushed it like paper. They crisscross the building facade from top to bottom, and from what I've seen, this system of staircases is used only on the oldest buildings in the city. It reigns over the building with its crown of twisted antennas and broken air conditioners. On the rim, there's a shiny object, although at this distance, I can't make out what it is. 3 huge lights struggle to illuminate everything they can with their precarious electrical system. They actually seem to create more shadows than light. The only light source for the area is hanging from this wooden post, and the tangle of cables and shoddy connections up there speaks eloquently of the quality and condition of the installation. This enormous construction tarp hangs from up there like a stage curtain, covering half the street. I guess it's a vestige of one of the few reconstruction jobs that were started in the city, just after the Great Wave hit. Following its trail, I see that's where the cable that crosses the street ends, the one with the 3 streetlights hanging from it. One of the guards is resting his foot on it.
Hey you! What are you doing here? Didn't you hear the curfew warning?
Relax. Look at his wrist. He's got a mole bracelet.
So you're one of those domesticated rats? You people disgust me. At least the rest of the worms at the camp have some dignity. But you guys, the moles, you're nothing more than a pack of treacherous stool pigeons.
No doubt, I have a great paragon of dignity before me. My hatred for these pigs has only grown, and more so since the incident at the camp entrance with the mole's children. Ruthless bastards. I just want to ask you guys a few questions. Do you know what the establishment was before the Great Wave?
I can't say I do. I lived on the other side of town. But judging from what's left, I'd say it looks like it was a bookstore. Looks like it burned down to the ground after the Great Wave.
Well, I for one am glad that nest of bookworms was destroyed. I never liked books. They always were a total waste of time.
Is that right? At first glance, I would have taken you for someone with refined literary tastes.
I think that description fits you to a T.
Watch your mouth, you dirty rat! And don't think that bracelet would protect you. I could blow your head off without batting an eyelid. Don't forget who's in charge here.
Why are you posted here?
Just following orders. Rat, we're here to protect and serve the inhabitants of this city. That's our mission.
Yes, I can see how the people feel much safer with you around.
We're doing our nightly rounds, and we have orders to keep a particular eye on this neighborhood.
And why this neighborhood in particular?
Well, as you can see, this area of the city was left almost intact after the Great Wave. It was kind of a miracle. Most of the homes and businesses are still standing, so burglary attempts are pretty popular. If there's anything left in the city worth guarding, it's here.
You ask a lot of questions. Have you come to steal something, rat?
No, of course not. With officers of the law like you, I'd never dare do anything like that.
I wouldn't provoke my partner too much if I were you. He's plenty jumpy today, and he's sometimes rather unpredictable.
And as for you, blabbermouth, I watch my tongue if I were you. How I am is nobody's business. And you, get back to your nest, rat!
So how's the night going?
Very quiet, except for a shooting at the entrance to the city a few hours ago. I think someone tried to steal some food. And when that happens, you have to act decisively. That's our duty.
It would be a fantastic night if it wasn't for those revolting cats. This damn neighborhood is infested with them.
Cats?
My partner doesn't like cats, and tonight they've been howling non-stop since we started our rounds.
Filthy creatures, dirty and pestilent. They are to blame for everything.
I won't bother you anymore. Keep up the good work. I don't need to look through these pages. I've already seen the horror out there. In better times, they must have been overflowing with literature. Now they look like the aftermath of one of those book burnings in the old days that maybe aren't as distant as they seem. This screen doesn't look any better than the rest of the place. The fire turned it into a glob of plastic and glass, and there's nothing left of the computer it was connected to. No, computers are a deplorable waste of time, when the hardware you're trying to use got wrecked in the Great Wave. A copy of Heart of Darkness, with practically nothing left but the cover. I don't have a good feeling about the deep red of the cover. I'm not going to take one. They're what's left of the cinema section. Only a couple of biographies survived the fire. Let's see, Dario Argento and John Carpenter. Burnt paper. The whole place is full of it. Hey, wait! One of these posters has a photograph of Reverend Blake on it. The Beechwood Oracle Bookstore invites you to a reading of The Annihilation of Time, where you can meet the book's author, Edward Blake. That explains why that deranged preacher had the card from this place in his pocket. On the other hand, I no longer have the slightest doubt as to the name of this establishment. No, I doubt there's anything in these stories that could surprise me. Dystopia. Could be the city's last name. Ray Bradbury, H.G. Wells, George Orwell, Philip K. Dick. This shelf must have been part of the science fiction section, although I suppose that after the Great Wave, it would be more fitting to move them to the current events section. The sign says, "Emergency exit, Beechwood Oracle Bookstore. Do not block." Well, it seems that in spite of the warning, this door is indeed blocked. I don't think I'm going to be able to open it that way. Use this here? How? The sign says, "Emergency exit, Beechwood Oracle Bookstore. Do not block." Well, it seems that in spite of the warning, this door is indeed blocked. Doesn't look like it's going to be complicated to open this door with the crowbar. Done.
Hey, wait a minute! Who the hell's over there?
I don't see anything.
Look at that building! I saw something moving in that shadow on that wall!
I think you're a little paranoid tonight. I told you to relax. Come on, take a deep breath.
Shut up! I bet it was one of those cats! All this is because of those pestilent beasts that have been bothering us since we got here. I couldn't stand them!
I better not let those two psychopaths down there see me. I should be very careful. The fire escapes on the building extend down from that rooftop. I can't stop my eyes fixating on that gleam of metal I see on the edge. What the hell could it be? A ridiculous little nobody, but dangerous. It's like Fatty Arbuckle exchanged his cream pies for rifle bullets. I'm afraid the brightest thing about this guy is the flashlight hanging from his belt. Those two pigs seem to be watching that entrance very intently. They probably pumped me full of lead before I got a chance to turn the doorknob.
Shut up, you filthy beasts! Goddamn mangy animals! Get out of there! I'm going to gouge out your eyes one by one! Skedaddle!
But what is your problem with cats?
Those cats are to blame for everything! They're what brought the disease to the city! They're what brought the virus that infects the dissolved!
Here we go again. I've told you 1,000 times. That's nonsense.
Of course it's not nonsense! I heard it from the friend of a friend who works in a research center!
Those poor creatures aren't to blame for anything.
Shut your face, you worm! You see that? It's comical! Rats defending cats! The world's been turned upside down!
Yes, it is comical. Cats being chased by pigs. In any case, those poor creatures can rest easy. That guy's arteries would burst before he'd be able to catch one of them. It's too big for carrying them. The fish would just disintegrate and disappear in the folds of the bag. No, the fish would fall through the cracks between the wooden slats if I tried to put them in it. I could use the electrical tape to hold something to this object, but what do I want to add to it? Let's see. I'll use the rusty nails to attach these two objects together. I doubt I'd accomplish anything using the pieces of the metal sign with that. A pretty fountain, covered with dry leaves, ivy, and moss. In its day, it must have been home to a school of goldfish, which I suppose are now gradually decomposing inside it. Hello, Uma. Uma, I should be going now.
Talk to my father, Michael. Tell him that I'm all right, that he shouldn't worry, that we'll be seeing each other soon, very soon.
We must be very deep underground, and the blades of this fan are barely turning at half speed. That explains why the air down here is almost unbreathable. In the distance, the other end of this tunnel fades out of sight among the shadows. Where does it lead? I prefer to hold on to it. I think this will be more useful to me.
You've brought me a cradle for my baby, Mr. Sleepyhead. But it's no good. It's not like the one in the picture. There's no rocker, see? So the cradle won't rock. I can't rock my baby to sleep. Bring me a cradle like the one in the picture.
Okay, don't worry, Rose. I'll keep looking. Let's see. I'll use the electrical tape to join these two objects. The bad news is that I just used up all the electrical tape.
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. This cradle is just like the one in the picture. Now I can rock my baby to sleep and sing to him. But now I need you to find the baby. I won't tell you your secret if you don't bring me my baby. Bring me my baby boy, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Okay, don't worry, Rose. I'll do it. Better not. Knowing what's inside that room, I have no interest in going in.
Hello, Michael. Did you see us out there with the soldiers? They were pointing their rifles at us, but we didn't squeal on you. We're two brave, strong men, aren't we?
Well, we did cry a little.
Shut up!
Of course you are. I'm proud of you. When you're grown up, everyone will know that you two can be trusted.
Grown up? But that's not going to be for a long time.
Yeah, besides, our mom says that's not gonna happen. There's no future for anyone, not for us either.
Don't pay any attention to what people say. You should only worry about taking care of each other. That's the only thing that matters now, okay? I gotta get going. Goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, Michael.
Goodbye, Michael.
Oh no, here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me is transformed. Good God, I think I'm starting to lose my mind. Okay, I'll use the can to avoid touching those disgusting fish with my hands. I filled the empty can with the rotten fish from the fountain in Suicide Park, and now it stinks. It stinks to high heaven. How could I use this can and its revolting contents here?
There you are, you mangy beasts! So you dared to come out, did you? Now I've got you! Ow! Goddamn revolting cats! Sooner or later I'll get each and every last one of you! I promise you!
Don't get mad. Your technique's improving. You almost got one this time.
Shut up!
Now I get it. This is the system that controls the amount of current that reaches each of the streetlights.
What the shit? Why does nothing work right in this filthy city?
Looks like a voltage surge. Suppose you think the cats are to blame.
Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you! I'm not letting those flea-bitten beasts out of my sight! No chance, mate!
Hey, wait a minute. I've seen this place before. I've been here. I recognize this rooftop. Those trees, the park, the statue. Tomorrow comes today. Of course, the photo from the poster. It was shot from someplace in this very building. But what's the meaning of all this? And could it be that the voice wasn't actually trying to lead me to that burned out bookstore down there, but rather to this building, to this place?